Hi everybody. For those of you that know me well, know that I don't do a lot of stamping, but I have recently gotten into that wreath builder system that Gina K had on Stamp TV, and I always miss the sales and stuff like that for those, and I usually don't buy anything unless it's on sale. So I wanted to do the system and learn the system, so what I went ahead and did was I made myself a little template. Basically went to the scrapbook store, Michael's, and bought myself some template material and cut the little squares. I wanted to go as big as I possibly could with my Misty, and that was 4.5 by 4.5, but I found that if I cut that on my template, it was going to completely cut apart my template and I wouldn't have a full piece. So I had to cut it down to go to the next size possible, which was 4 inches. So I have the 4-inch square here, and for those of you that aren't familiar with this system, what it basically is I'm going to start this way because I always seem to mess this one up. You position your stamp however you like it, and then this piece here keeps your stamp, or not your stamp, excuse me, keeps your paper in the square. Now mine is not that thick, so it does slide a little bit, and I don't like to put a magnet here because then for some reason every time I do it, it seems to want to move. So for all intents and purposes, I don't do that. And for speed, because you know, I don't like things taking a long time because that's just me. So what I found was, here I am doing this, okay, ink, work, move, ink, move. You see where I'm kind of going on how little cumbersome this is a little bit? Now, if I was putting my thing there, you'll see what I get is it doesn't come up as much, and it's much easier to move a little bit. It's just, I don't know, I don't work as easily with it. But you kind of get the point of what this is doing. If you haven't seen her videos, you need to check it out because Gina K is absolutely awesome, I will say that. Oh, see, that's right in the way. Okay. So you kind of see where I'm going with this, on how cumbersome using this template system and everything else is, because you got a lot of different parts to deal with. But it makes a very pretty wreath. Okay, I really do like it. But again, it's a pain in the tuchus. And I have a bunch of different stamps and platforms and everything else. I have the Tim Holtz platform. I have everything. Well, We Are Memory Keepers came out with a new one. By the way, this is awesome. This is Lawn Fawn's chamois. It's fabulous. Gotta have that if you're a stamper. Anyways, as I was saying, this one with that type and size overlaps a lot. So, the Misty is fabulous. I love it. But there's a better way. I think. My opinion, don't quote me. This is the We Are Memory Keepers press platform. And for those of you that don't know this system, because it's relatively new, it's been out within the last year and a half. Anyways, it's a pressing system that works based on the little foot, and then it goes down and it presses. But the neat thing about this system is you can buy additional plates. And so if you're doing multiple projects like the layering stamps, this platform will allow you to have multiple plates, set them up all in advance, and then just press and press and press and press and switch plates, and do like one card all in one thing just by moving and changing your plates. So really, really awesome. Another thing is I love they have their little grid on this stamp piece here. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but it's really cool. There's a grid printed on this, and it sits exactly in and works exactly with the pegs and everything else, which for this intent and purpose is perfect. Because what it lets me do is it lets me go up to a 4 3/4 piece. And what I do is I put in here, if you look on this one, 3 inches here, 3 inches here, that's the dead center. So if I were to center this, see how I have like the little dotted marks on each side? So I know that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to find those dotted marks, and I'm going to go ahead and put this to where it's centered within those dotted marks. If I wanted to, I could buy a couple more of these pieces, and I could actually physically mark all these spots if I really, really wanted to. But I'm not going to. I'm going to do it this way so that I can show you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a magnet in the middle of this. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same piece here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it, oops, I'm upside down. There we go. I'm going to put it how I want it here. I still had a little bit of water left on that, so you're going to kind of see that a little bit. And then pick it back up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, see how I can do that with on the platform like that? Well, when I go to turn this paper, I'm not actually going to turn it until a little bit. But what I'll show you is when I do turn it, here's my angle. I'm going to check it. Okay, I'm still within that circle, so I'm good. Alright, so now with this one, here's the fun part. I'm going to move this just to the side here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Again, I'm all about speed. I'm all about doing something quickly and everything else. So with this one, what I can do is I can set up my stamp and my ink like so. I can push it, come over, press it, push it, ink it, twist this piece. Okay, this is a little bit in the way. Come down, push it off there a little bit, but that's okay. Come around, press it, ink it, ink it, ink it, come back down, and press it. Okay, so there's my 4 sides, and then I'm just going to go back to that square. Okay, I'm going to square it up. Go in there again. Okay, I'm going to ink my stamp. Push. Ink it up. Twist it. Push. Ink it up. Twist it. Push. Ink it up. And do the last part of the wreath. Okay, that's it with this one. That to me is so much faster and so much easier. I'm sorry, but it is. Okay, also you get a bigger wreath, and I kind of really like that. You know, where you put your stuff in the middle of the wreath is of course up to you. You can do lots of different things with it. Like I said, I've been playing around. It just allows you to put a lot more details into your wreaths with some stuff. Like this one I only used like 2 or 3 of my pieces, whereas this one I used like 4 or 5. And added a little bit more, you know, color diversity and everything with it. So it's entirely up to you on how much you want to put in there or how little you want to put on there. Again, this one works just as great with Gina's system, you know, but it works even better, I think, with this one. I wanted to do, like, it is Thanksgiving weekend, so me being who I am, you know, I kind of wanted to play a little bit on the Thanksgiving theme. And, you know what, this tab is just a little bit too long. There we go. So, I've been buying a lot of my stamp set with the fall theme in mind. And, so I just wanted to take you through a really quick run through on how I do my fall one start to finish. Now, I'm not a YouTube guru. I do not know how to speed up a lot of the videos and to do all that stuff yet. I will try with this one because I'm sure this is going to take about 40 minutes. So bear with me, and I hope you can see and follow along how I do all this. Alrighty, let's get some brown. There's my reds. Move the greens. I'm going to do a lot of yellows and different colors. Okay, here we go. As you can see too, I use different types of stamps and different types of colors from different companies. I am definitely not a snob when it comes to which company I use or don't use. I actually, pardon my speakage here, use almost every company that's out there. I have Stampin' Up! Inks, I have Close to My Heart inks, and I have Stamps of Life ink even, really. Okay, so let's do, there we go. Okay, I always do kind of check wherever I'm putting the stamps on the angle, because the angle is usually where everything kind of gets muffed up a little bit. So I'm going to check it there. See, yeah, that's off. So I don't want that. I want it nice and inside where I'm going to be going. There. Much better. Now, with this one too, another thing that you can do, if you don't want to be stamping like I have really, really quickly, and you can do it, if you have the little tiny inkers, and those are really great to do multiples with. So I could actually stack this whole thing up and do my wreath like all in one fell swoop. And what I mean by that is, okay, so I've got one leaf there, and then I want to do, let's do, well, see, I don't want to do it that way, because if I do it that way, then I'm not going to have the layering look that I want. I won't be able to position nicely. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do it my way, because I want to do it my way. Okay. Hey. Okay, you see I didn't get enough on there? Again, this is a stamping platform, so you can go back over, which is really cool. If you mess up and don't ink it right. Okay. Or if you want to make it darker or go over it a second time, you can do that too. Alright. Besides, if I fast forward through this video, y'all don't get to hear me droning on and on and on. And that's like all the fun of it. I'm just kidding. Okay. I, at first, when I got this platform, really hated it. I thought it was ridiculous and it didn't work the way I had hoped or planned. And now, because of this, quite honestly, I am absolutely loving it. I think I'm going to go ahead and go on to HSN and get myself the the next couple pieces, because I really do like it. Okay, so I'm going to do, let's go right there. Again, make sure that on my angle I'm good. Like that. Come on. There we go. Okay, my angle's good. Okay, so let's do this in a really bright, oh gosh, this thing's stuck. Dun, 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 dun. Let's do Gold Rush. Now this set that I'm using right now is that Autumn Harvest. It's from Art Booking, and I don't have the outer shell for the one leaf. It's actually a cut. So for all intents and purposes with this, that doesn't matter. Oh, I did that backwards. I'm a dorkosaur. Hang on. I put that on my plate backwards, in case you didn't notice. My little feet things were up instead of down. So I need to reposition that and grab it back properly. There we go. I'm not going to redo that spot just in case I am off slightly. Yeah, you'll never know it. So so if I don't re-ink it, then I won't see it and be like, ah, well, wait a minute, missed a spot. Another thing about this technique, which is really kind of cool, is you don't have to be like particularly clean stamper, because this platform is doing the work for you. I do have that left over from the last things that I was stamping, but other than that, this system and the way that I'm doing this would also be very pretty to do like a laurel, or underlining something with your leaf sets, you know, like when you're, you know how they have like the little underside and then they have like the saying up top. This would be really good to do with that kind of thing as well. See, didn't that turn out pretty? You know, if I did blues with this would almost be a snowflake set. I could almost make that into snowflakes. That was kind of a neat idea, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Okay. So that's that one, and let's see what other kinds of pieces I've got. I have little ones. Oh, here, let's do this one. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, make sure I get it on right this time. Okay, pick that up. Let's go with curry. Ooh, that's gonna be pretty. Okay. That's a juicy stamp, so move this just a little bit. Yeah, it's very juicy. And like I said, if you want to put more color on here and get the stamp that you're putting down a little bit darker, then hit it twice with your inks, and then that way it'll get a nice, deep, rich color tone to it. And I'll do one, and I'll show you what I mean with another one here in a second. I think this needs a little bit of red. Kind of offset the tones. Okay. But you can see exactly where I'm going with all of this, and how, you can see how quickly it really does all come together. Okay, so let's do some red. Hey, give it back. Red like that, and then I have another berry set. I have two of them. Let's go towards the inside while I'm at it, shall we? How about it? How about it? How about it? How about it? Alright, let's do cherry cobbler. I will say one thing for the Stampin' Up! Inks. They are juicy. Oh my goodness. Alright, pick those two up. Moved it just a tad. Oops, I'm going to reposition that. There we go. Easy peasy. Alright, there we go. I like it. Okay. So, I am just about done with this last piece, and then I will put in my last middle piece once that's all said and done. A lot of times when I'm doing something like this and I have like little itty bitty pieces, like on this one when I did the insides to the holly, I did not use the stamp press to do that. I just took a small block and did it on the small block. Ooh, did that stamp? That sure did. Okay. See, I love it when you can do that. You know, the only bad thing about red inks is, I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, the red ink always completely makes my little poor acrylic stamps purple. You almost hate to use it because of that. Okay, so, those are my little berry sticks. And then I want to go ahead on the center part. And let's do, what we got? Gratitude, blessed, thankful. Let's do thankful. To have you in my life. Okay, let's do this. You know, the only thing that's really bad about acrylic sometimes is that they do not like to stay put. And I don't know why, but they just don't. Especially when you're trying to position them and you have acrylic fingernails and the acrylic in the stamp wants to stick to the acrylic in your fingernail. I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead. Oops, pick those up. Okay, see, that moved on me just ever so slightly. That's the one thing I don't like about dry stamps is that when you go to pick them up, kind of move on you. Because they stick to the paper. There we go, make sure it's still. Okay. Yep, okay. And I think I'm going to do that in that gold rush, that dark gold again, so that it shows up. Okay. Now again too, this platform doesn't always, especially when with word stamps I'm finding, it doesn't always press extraordinarily well. But that time it did really great. The nice thing again, because it's a platform, is that you can go back over it with your other color. Okay, so you can see it turns out really easy, and it's not hard. It's quick. It really is. So this platform, if you want to do wreath building and you want to do that kind of thing, I think personally I prefer this. Again, I think Ginny K's system is fabulous. I think it's wonderful. I just like things going a little bit faster, and I do like this method. So I hope you like it. Thanks for watching my videos, and we'll see you later.